Coming off of a huge YCS this weekend, Exo-Sister takes down a win, but does that really matter to card prices? Well, we're about to find out. Make sure you smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Alright, so, Magnifica Starlights, 230s. Alright, I see that we have had a little bit of movement within Martha itself. 200, 225, 188. You're spinning up here. Most verified's now 230 on the Starlight Marthas. Well, clap for it, market. Impressive. I didn't actually think a lot would move, but alright, still seeing those Magnificas low is good. The Mikhail's still floating about 59. Packs, it's not good. These down. I see some near mint sold a little while back at 55s, but it looks like a lot of people fire sold on those. And then Sophia's down to 39s. So yeah, a lot of downward movements there. Regular Marthas, you do see a little bit of a ramp up here. 13 bucks on these, 14 bucks. So yeah, multiple copies of Martha look like that they've moved in between for both the Starlight and the regular copies, but that looks like that was about it. Grand Creators copies of packs, I see these had a little bit of an uptick too. 10 bucks, $15, and $12. Yeah, packs also moved up a little bit. Okay. Interesting to see that as well. Sophia's still a market price of, $8-9. Okay, so yeah, doesn't look too terrible out here for the Exo-Sister market. If you want my honest opinion, this looks like a very good time to sell. Now that the market is spinned up a little bit here. I specifically bring that point out because a few people were asking me hey Robbie, when do you think is a good time to move Exo-Sister? Right frickin' now. Alright, so just to be honest with you, yeah, if you've got it and you want to move it, now's a great time. Necro Valleys. Anybody surprised that this is still... Oh, yep, up they went. $108, $120, $105. The cards saw play in the Exo-Sister deck that won the event. It's a fantastic Floodgate card that, makes it so you basically can't touch the graveyard. Okay. I'm not surprised about this whatsoever. Seeing an immediate spike up like that might detour a few people, but you can still grab a Spanish copy for $100. So I don't think that this is necessarily a bad thing. But once again, YCS fallout from the weekend here. You see people out here trying to fire sell this stuff. They want to recoup, or they're just looking at the overall turnaround per the event. Yeah, it's going to happen. Something big out of the weekend here. Secret Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Whoo-wee. Last sold was $100 for light play first ed. A light play for $103. Now, if you've been looking in your market here for these, you can get some light play unlimbs for 68s. You ramp on up to German for 120. Another German first ed for 150. Your lowest near mint English first edition copy, $346.55 with 85-cent shipping. All jokes aside, those first ed copies, obviously I don't think any have sold at that huge overinflated price point, but you are seeing that this is the curious dump target. You revive it back onto the field with the Griffin, and that's what you're seeing here in terms of value. Once again, it's a spell and trap wipe. Alright, you declare which of the two you want and you go to town. This is one of the most generic cards that you can have access to for no reason whatsoever. You just have to produce the monster with 2,500 more attack points, and it's dark for you to use it. Okay, that's not a real thing. Alright, Evil Eye cards. So we got Evil Eye support announced. You got 2 cards announced. Well, you know what the community wants to do? You're going to spend $139 for a copy of this. You can buy a Spanish copy for $93, Italian copy for $95, but $140 for an Evil Eye collector's rare. Now, how reliable that is, I don't know. $4 for Surziels though for light play first eds. Okay, these These have had nowhere of an upspin here. I do see that maybe somebody bought some near mints for $7, but I still got light plays off the wazoo here for very cheap. I see that we've got the reprints from the 10s are about to be over $1. Okay, for ultras. Evil Eye Domains. These are also going up a little bit here. Okay. Medusa's kind of cheap. I think the rest of this deck looks relatively cheap for the most part here, but you got a few dollar cards that are resonating a little bit, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. Are you going to be really surprised when I tell you that Runic Tips have gone even further beyond? Well, the Collector's Rare's 120 lowest right now. The Fountain's still floating at, looks like 83 lowest right now. 85, 83. Yeah, 83, 84 bucks. That's not terrible. What's getting ridiculous is this. $60, 53, 52. $52 is your lowest available right now for just the tip. Just the Surger, the key component of the deck. If you pick these up very early on, I'll clap for you. You won the lottery, all right? If you were somebody out here that looked at Runic and you were like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah, the card has gone to the moon. I didn't think we'd have a Baron de Fleur in the set, but you know what? The market really does love to prove me wrong. I think that's awesome. All right, good stuff. Anything else from Tama? Shoot up. I love the fact that Runic Tip is now over the Droll. Labyrinth Nightmare, or Labyrinth Mommies have settled at 87's way it looks. 90s for the Green Serpent. Those are ramping up. Anti-Spells, $60. Cosmics at 45, sure. Labyrinth's at 49, so no real movements there. Not really surprised about that. Trap Tricks at 47 on up to 50. Arianes are 43 on up to 46. And then Scapegoat's 38 and Sorcerer is 38. Okay. Nothing else too crazy out of this. Sure. So majority of the set is pretty much settled. That's good to see. You guys remember when first edition Solemn Strikes were, actually money? Now they're like $6 on up to $10. First edition Solemn anything usually is worth something, but to just see that this is kind of spiraled out of control, I just wanted to shout this out a little bit because I thought this was funny. Skullmark Ladybugs of time. We've seen this card. We've tracked this card shooting to the moon, and I don't know why people are genuinely surprised. We saw it at the beginning of its buyout. We've seen that it's continued to orbit into outer space. It amazes me that people are still like, I don't understand why you play this. No. You play it because time. All right, and I really don't need to explain much more of that to Yu-Gi-Oh players, but they needed it explained, so I guess. The Vernal Sliff of the Flourishing Hills has went up. I'm not surprised about this, man. Like, the whole fairy toolbox is coming. It was really cheap. It was $1 card. Once again, I've made mention of this before. The Vernal Sliff stuff is coming in Darkwing Blast. All the good stuff. This is one of the few cards from the set that you needed, and it was an ultra rare. It was just a matter of time until it spiked up. So, not really much can be done about that. Slifer, the Sky Dragon. $32, $33. 32. Were the last listings for these. I was kind of curious. The whole Slifer power up coming right now. People love looking at the King's Court stuff, going, what's the highest rating? I mean, if you want the Pharaoh's ultra rare for this, keep an eye on this. It's got some interesting little movements. Egyptian God Slime has orbited to another zip code. This is hilarious, man. 50, 62, 60, but all that's available right now is $89 to $90. Egyptian God Slimes are officially at, I kid you not, the $90 price tag. I think it's really crazy just how much value has been built around the Egyptian God Slime right now just as a card, man. Seeing this thing at that $90 price tag is crazy. As Banless Day comes down upon us here, we're seeing Spellbook of Judgment continue its orbit to another zip code here, $29. You can get lowest for $15, $20, but first eds are what's always going to cost you that more modernized premium. Jesus, man, $32 for the original prints of Spellbook of Judgment. At least the reprints are $6 right now, so that's not bad. And then, of course, Sprite House right now with an $18 to $19 price point. I still think that this card shooting up is relatively not that crazy, considering all the applications and things that it brings to the table for all the level 2 decks. plus free revivability and protection. Okay. So what do you guys think about everything? Please leave a comment down below and tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.